Welcome back to lesson 4 on how to master your mojo. Today is titled Reprogramming Your Filter. So, 2 lessons ago, you wrote down a new identity statement and took one small action to back it up. That was real. But one action doesn't make something automatic. And I want to talk about today why some people manage to make a new identity stick for good, and other people write a great affirmation, feel inspired for 3 days, and then quietly slide right back. The difference isn't more willpower. It's whether you've actually trained that part of your brain that decides what you notice, what you remember, and what you treat as significant. That part is working constantly, whether you're paying attention to it or not. And right now, for the most of us, it's still working overtime on behalf of the old identity. Now, here's the question for today. What if the evidence for your new identity has been around you the whole time and you've simply never told your brain to go looking for it? Now, keep your identity statement from last lesson open and nearby because you're going to need it. In 1999, 2 researchers, Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris, ran an experiment that became one of the most replicated demonstrations in psychology, because the result is almost hard to believe until you've seen it happen to you personally. They showed people a short video of 2 teams passing basketballs back and forth and gave the viewers one simple job. Count how many times the team in white passed the ball. That's it. Just count. Now, partway through the video, someone in a full gorilla suit walks directly through the middle of the scene, faces the camera, and walks off in plain sight for several seconds. Not hidden, not subtle. When researchers asked viewers afterward if they'd seen anything unusual, close to half of them said no. They hadn't seen a gorilla at all, not because their eyes didn't register it. The gorilla was right there in their field of vision the entire time. They missed it because their attention had been given to one specific job, and anything outside that job, no matter how strange or obvious, simply didn't make it into their conscious awareness. Now, that's not a flaw in those particular people. That's how attention works for every single one of us, all day, every day. Now, here's why that matters far beyond a basketball video. Your brain is taking in almost incomprehensible amount of information every second. Sounds, sights, conversations, possibilities, and consciously processing only a sliver of it. Something has to decide which sliver gets through. That something isn't neutral. It's been trained, mostly without your permission, on what counts as significant to you. And whatever it's being trained on, it will keep finding over and over, while everything else walks right past you in a gorilla suit. Now, this is the same principle behind why 2 people can sit in the exact same room, look at the exact same situation, and walk away having noticed completely different things. Someone trained to scan for risk and what's going wrong will find risk and what's going wrong everywhere they look. Someone trained to scan for capacity and what's already working will find that instead. Same room, same information available to both of them. Completely different reality because their filter was pointed in a different direction. So when you say things like opportunities never show up for me, or I have never met the right people, or nothing's changing, I want you to consider a less comfortable possibility. It's not that the evidence isn't there. It's that your filter has never once been told it's allowed to look for it. Now, here's the uncomfortable part, so stay with me a little bit longer. Most of us aren't neutral about which identity our filter is still defending. We say we want the new one, the identity statement from last lesson. But if you watch yourself closely for a day or two, you'll probably catch your attention still quietly collecting proof for the old one. The late reply that confirms, I'm bad at follow through. The slow month that confirms, money just doesn't stick to me. You're not imagining those moments. They're real, but they're also not the whole picture. They're just the ones your filter was already trained to flag because the old identity still feels more familiar, even if you don't like it. Now, that's the part nobody tells you. Wanting the new identity isn't the same as having actually redirected your attention towards it. You can hold it both at once. Genuinely want to change and still be unconsciously gathering evidence for the version of you that hasn't changed yet. That's not failure. That's just an untrained filter doing what it's always done because nobody's given it a new assignment. Now, the honest question is this. In the last 48 hours, what has your attention actually been collecting evidence for? The identity you wrote down or the one you're trying to leave behind? Now, here's the learning activity for the week. Pull out your identity statement from last lesson the I am version, not the old one. Now, for the next 24 hours, I want you to give your filter one specific narrow assignment. The same way those researchers gave their viewers the job of counting passes. Write this sentence at the top of a fresh page. Today, I am looking for one piece of real evidence that your new identity is already true. Then go about your day and actually look. Doesn't need to be dramatic. If your identity is, I am someone who follows through, the evidence might be as small as noticing you reply to a message faster than usual, or that you finished something without being reminded. You're not manufacturing proof. You're just finally letting yourself notice what was probably already there. Now, before the day ends, write down what you found, even if it feels small or almost embarrassing to count. Small is fine. The point isn't the size of the evidence. The point is proving to yourself that your filter can be redirected on command. The same way it can be stuck on the old identity without you ever choosing that either. You just gave your attention a job for the first time on purpose instead of letting it run on autopilot. That's a bigger shift than it might feel like right now. Keep doing this even after today. The filter gets more loyal to whatever you pointed at the most. Now, next lesson, we're going to talk about urgency. Not the panic kind, but the honest kind that comes from really looking at the gap between where you are and where you actually want to be, and why that gap, faced head on, is what finally gets people to act instead of just plan. I'll see you there.